Yes.
Okay, there
Yeah.
we go. Okay, all right, Steve.
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being with us for another great Thursday night dedicated to photography. Here we are actually with our last webinar before the summer recess, and yes, potentially this could be also my last introduction as your webinar host, if the club is allowed to open its doors next September. It's been roughly 16 months since the idea, which had hit my mind at the very outset, to create something which would keep members of the Malta Photographic Society united and give them something to look forward to every week. Once it was known that the club had to go on a long period of lockdown. I knew it was a big challenge and commitment. However, with the encouragement and help from friends like Stephen Buhagiar, Charles Calleja, Joseph Mifsud, and Alexander Kutayar, amongst others, which used to join within a small group of virtual chats, and with the help from the Malta Photographic Society Executive Committee, who decided to wholeheartedly support and build on the existing setup, we managed to gradually arrive to where we are today. For this, I have no words to thank enough the President, Stephen Buhagiar, for his dedication, his commitment, his support, his encouragement, his leadership skills to help me grow this webinar community and bring it to the success it is today. Each webinar hosts an average audience of around 40 online, and many a time we have exceeded 50 heads when counting also those who joined the live stream on the Society's Facebook page. All thanks to the invaluable contribution of our technical guru, Joseph Mifsud. Across these 16 months, we have provided you with over 50 webinars, bringing to the comfort of your homes through Zoom every week various foreign and local professional photographers to share with you photographic material of value to help you improve and widen your knowledge in this evolving industry, whether you are a professional or also an avid enthusiast. We touched various themes from landscapes to long exposure, from astrophotography to street photography, from portraiture to artistic people photography, to glamour and fashion, from boudoir to art nude, from documentary to fine art presentations, all the way to even having webinar teams discussing alternative methods of processing, mastering composites, mind-blowing still life, water drop photography, as well as a webinar highlighting the beauties of our sister island Gozo. An assortment of different themes with rich content that came to you free of charge. I did this with utmost pleasure and without expecting anything in return. If there is only one thing I would ask you without hesitation, is to continue supporting the Malta Photographic Society through your membership and help the executive committee, spearheaded by the hard-working President Stephen Buhagiar, in his quest to engage new talent, attract new faces, welcome new opportunities, and invite them to become part of this ever-growing society, which has a very bright future in the months and years to come. Some short notices regarding upcoming photographic events. The next photo shoot to be organized by Patrick Nellas and Antonella Spiteri, who manage the local agency for European top models, would like to announce that the next photo shoot is on Sunday, 11 July at 5 p.m. at Mdina. The chosen theme is Wear Your Style, Be Stylish. This shoot is in conformity with all measures announced by the Public Health Authority. Those interested to attend are to send a private message to both Patrick and Antonella Spiteri through the ETM Malta page found on Facebook. Spaces are limited, so book your place to avoid disappointment. And now, get ready for our last webinar before the summer recess and prepare yourselves for some adrenaline rush, seeing some highly interesting yet hazardous adventures from local photographer turned YouTuber Conrad Neil Gatt, who will take us to some risky sites where only those having nerves of steel choose to explore. He will demonstrate his adventures by showing us photos and some video footage of his perilous treks, involving a great deal of planning, concentration, and zero tolerance for making mistakes. Conrad Neil Gatt, 44 years, known to many as CNG, is a technician by profession, a photographer, and now also a YouTuber, hailing from the island of Malta. He is a friend of the Malta Photographic Society, a very good friend of the current president, Stephen Buhagiar. He has been into photography since 2010, where he used to find himself at best within portraiture and stage photography. He used to travel quite a lot, working within the fashion industry during the first part of the last decade. Conrad admits that landscape photography was not his forte and is still not within his strengths as a teen, but he finds himself indulged and surrounded by nature more and more. And thanks to the advancement in mobile phone technology, he finds himself snapping quite a few good takes, once in a blue moon. For the last 2 years, he has been exploring Malta, doing some wild adventures, complex caving explorations, documenting some beautiful gems like extreme caves, treks, abandoned places, and historical places, sharing them on his YouTube channel. One could see well over 100 adventures, a channel which is followed by various subscribers ranging from all over Europe to UK, Australia, USA, as well as Algeria and India. Gatt is now extending his adventure CNG treks beyond borders, exploring different countries, now that we are hopefully approaching an end to this pandemic. Of recent, he explored a few caves and the tunnel inside the Etna volcano, and also the island of Stromboli. He will certainly not stop here, but he plans to extend his trek venture project even further. If you are intrigued to get to know about Conrad Neil Gatt's new destinations and also enjoy his action-packed adventures from the safety of your home, then it is a must to subscribe to his YouTube channel on youtube.com/c/Conrad Neil Gatt. A couple of thanks as usual. Thank you to Stephen Buhagiar for his tremendous support to help me put up these webinars. Joseph Mifsud, our technical guru for streaming our webinars live on the MPS Facebook page, the Malta Photographic Society Exco for your ongoing support, and also the Facebook groups for supporting us by promoting us on their pages, namely in surname order Azzoppar Tony from Fotografija Bejn il-Kbir, Kutajjar Alexander from Photography Shots, and Debono Johan from All Photography. I will now hand over the word to the President of the Malta Photographic Society, Mr. Stephen Buhagiar, to share with us some brief news regarding the Malta Photographic Society. Over to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Vince. As usual, I need to share a PowerPoint to help. Is it showing, Vince?
Yes, Stephen.
Okay. So, good evening, fellow members of the Malta Photographic Society. Thanks for joining today's session, which, as Vince claimed, is the last one before the summer recess. And thanks also for those who attended yesterday's extraordinary general meeting. I was impressed with the positive feedback, support, and interest I got from those who were present. Those who couldn't make it will be informed about our current situation. Your cooperation, help, and assistance to see our society overcome this hurdle will be appreciated. I join Vince's message and thank all speakers who for these past months gave us a talk and shared their photographic knowledge and expertise with us. I also thank all for your support and interest. Behind each and every webinar, there's time to contact various prolific photographers, writing and sending emails, preparing the artwork, meeting the artists before the webinar, and other logistical matters to organize and hold these weekly encounters. All this was made possible thanks to Vince, who altogether managed to give you a wide variety of presentations of photographic value. Thanks, Joseph, for streaming these webinars live on Malta Photographic Society Facebook page and uploading them on Malta Photographic Society YouTube channel. I cannot forget to mention and show admiration to my respected colleagues sitting on the Exco, who are the pivot of such collaboration with the Malta Photography webinars. Thanks to all those who, by all means, shared and endorsed this weekly appointment. As the health authorities are lifting the COVID-19 mitigation measures, the Exco is preparing to organize a day in Gozo on Saturday, 17th July. We take the 7:30 ferry and we come back in the afternoon at 4:30. Those coming will have ample opportunities to shoot portraits, street photography, documentary, and architecture. For more details, kindly visit our website, click on Gozo Outing 2021, fill in the form, and the administration will send you further information. This is a good opportunity to meet in person, socialize, and practice photography. We will take all necessary precautions, mainly wearing masks, the use of hand sanitizer, and stick to the 2-meter distance. Hope I see most of you, and together we'll enjoy the company of each other. Meanwhile, I hope that you started working on your submissions for the 56th National Competition and Exhibition of Photography 2021. Read the rules, and should you need further information, do not hesitate to contact us and we will assist you accordingly. Currently, at the Rabat Center of the Malta Council for Voluntary Sector, there is an exhibition titled Lustocru by Miss Etienne Ferrell, featuring photography, sculptures, paintings, and reliefs in clay for a total of 31 pieces. With her solo exhibition, Ferrell is encouraging artists and photographers to use their exhibitions to raise funds for a voluntary organization of their choice. I encourage you to visit this exhibition, which is open till the 11th of July. I will be visiting this exhibition tomorrow, Friday at 7 p.m. and who wants to join me is asked to send a private message. We, the Malta Photographic Society, look to promote and support local photographic exhibitions. And before giving the floor to our friend Conrad Neil Gatt, who through his photography is prepared to take us to unreachable places, I ask you to keep in touch with the Malta Photographic Society, as in the coming days, we are expected to launch another interesting event to keep you active during the summer holidays. So keep tuned.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you very much. Excellent introduction. So now the floor is all yours, Conrad. I know you're very excited, but I also know that you're going to hit this very, very well, as you do with your YouTube videos. So good luck, and the floor is yours, my friend. I'm trying to unmute you, Conrad. Okay.
Click on the mic on the lower left-hand side.
Lower left, Conrad.
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, I have to admit, first of all, guys, I'm a bit excited. I never did such a thing. I was very honored when Steve and Vince asked me to do this webinar. We did a dry shot earlier this week or the week before to see how these things go, because I'm not used to them. I'm used to the outdoors, but not used to this technical things and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I welcome you. As Vince rightly introduced me, I've been a photographer, if you can say so. My profession is that of a technician. I work at ST Microelectronics for the last 26 years. I've been into photography since 2010. I've been, as most of you, buying some cameras, then evolving lenses, lights. I found myself very at ease in the fashion industry. I've taken some courses with Albert DeMarco. Most of you know him. Hi, Albert. Respect. I've been also traveling abroad, thanks God. to some places working in fashion, like London. I've been going to London about 3 or 4 times, shooting there, getting up my own Maltese team, me, myself as a photographer, makeup artist, models, hairdressers, and we did a shoot there. Thanks God, all went well. It was a challenge, but challenges make you grow now. Then I've been doing some weddings as well and some artistic photography. I have a small collection, which cannot be public, of course. But lately, let's go down to this business now. Lately, as everyone knows, this COVID thing, thanks God, it's maybe close to the end now, or who knows. There were elderly people mostly who were used to going out trekking every Saturday or Sunday or every Wednesday. There are these groups, and they were loving it, exploring Malta. Some of them were retired. There were still some youths going around as well. And when COVID struck, they found themselves sitting home and cannot go out and enjoy Maltese countryside. No. At that moment, I was in transition. I maybe most of you know, I was part of a reality show. It was called Licorice. I don't mind making an advert for them because it has been an outstanding experience for me. I've been training for it for 5 months prior to that because I wanted to be physically fit and mentally prepared, sort of. But I was not prepared when it came to food and hunger, because most of you might think, they really don't give them food. Yes, we suffer hunger there, and for the first time in my life, I learned what it means like being hungry, because there you don't have any money, you don't have any food, you don't go, for example, open your kitchen cupboard and have a snack or something. You don't have anything there. So for the first time, I was really hungry. But it makes you grow up and it makes you face challenges even harder. Now, when I came back, I was physically fit, as I told you, and I said, now that I'm physically fit and I'm doing this, I want to start putting targets, for example, 3 months targets. There was a challenge, 150 kilometers trek around Malta, around all Malta without sleeping. I was preparing for it for 3 whole months. And for, at the last 3 or 4 days, they got it off because of COVID. We couldn't go in groups. So that was a setback, but I've been learned from my parents that every setback, you should turn every setback to something productive, no? And I took about 2 or 3 days trying to think what I can do in this coming COVID period, no? Trying to help people whilst enjoying myself at the same time. And I said, I started going trekking, and of course, I started taking some photos. But as most of you know, or some of you might know, I'm more into people photography, if it's portraiture, if it's photojournalism, if it's stage photography. But when it comes to landscaping, I'm a total shit. But going out, taking some photos, thanks to the technology, mobile offers. I had a normal mobile, I don't have a... And I started going out, taking some photos and sharing them on Facebook. My mother is everyone's mother is the #1 fan now. And even if the photos were crap or something, she used to tell me, they are nice, even if the horizon was tilted or anything. And she used to tell me, as if I'm going around with you. You're taking me virtually to these places. She had to stay home because obviously old people were vulnerable and they were suggested. And I was, thanks God, still available to go out. Now I would like to share with you some photos, guys. Maybe this talking gets boring. Yes, I'm trying to share a screen now. If I manage, wait.
Yes, Conrad.
Share. I don't know if this is working.
Yes, we're seeing your screen.
No, I segregated everything numerical order, not to forget anything, guys. I've been preparing this for about a few hours. I don't know. Hope I will forget nothing. I will enlarge this. My landscape photography is not that wow, okay, but I'm trying to share with you a few ones. This one was in Rendi. There's a cave called Piscina Naturali, and this is underwater, no? With the GoPro, thanks God. I work with this small thing. It's a small GoPro. You can put it underwater as well. It's a bit 10 meters, I think, waterproof. You cannot go deeper because otherwise you have to enclose it in another capsule sort of. And you just dip it down and you can get some photos. This is in Gozo with El Mira, I think it's called. You can see me there. Are you following, guys? I don't know if it's visible enough.
We're seeing.
Perfect.
Conrad, you can try to enlarge a bit the screen.
I try.
The photo, the dialogue.
Wait. Is it a bit bigger? I don't know.
Yes, better.
That's the furthest I can go, guys.
Okay.
I've been going around, as I told you, and snapping some shots. This is from Banaisa area, Ar Hassan area. This is in Munshar, Marsa Scala, St. Thomas. This is going to Del Demara. This is maybe not landscape, but I don't know. I was impressed by the colors there. It's all thanks to the mobile, okay? No settings or anything. Del Demara as well, Del Demara. This is a shot taken in Bormla, believe it or not. There's a small green space going up to Verdala. Some bastions. We're surrounded by a lot of bastions. A small note here, I would like to thank Ray Zammit for giving me a lot of information when I'm going through these things. A small information about bastions, we have mostly three lines of fortifications. Victoria Lines, which is about 12 kilometers in all. It is very interesting. You can do them in one day or segregate them. On my YouTube channel, they are segregated in three videos, because when you make vlogs very long, people tend to turn off and go do other things. So there's Victoria Lines, which goes across from Fomerriech to Madlina, sort of. They cross, there's a natural vault of Malta, and they were built on that vault. They are 12 kilometers. I told you this one is part of, there are then Cottonera Lines, and then closed in them, there are Santa Margherita Lines. Cottonera Lines, if I'm not mistaken, they are about 5 kilometers. And they enclose Cospicua, Saint Lea, and the part of Victoriosa, if I'm not wrong. But these Margherita Lines enclose Bormla mostly, the Verdala area, and this is part of it. This is another part from St. Clement Retrenchment. I went in St. Clement Retrenchment, guys, and it's what I found in there was, well, I used to go at school in Verdala. I don't know if any of you is from Bormla or used to go there. And we used to see a chicken farm truck going in and out. And I used to say, oh, okay. I was young at that age. But now, since I've been exploring these places, I wanted to go and explore there. And what I found, guys, is really, I can't imagine how the authorities, if they gave permission to do this, gave permission for these places, these historical places, unique in the world, I might say, being turned into farms and the type of shit there is there, abandoned. A shame. But thanks God, going back to these places, I know that we've been mentioned also in the House of Parliament this week, thanks to MP Glenn Benningfield, who is doing awareness about these places. Thanks God. So we are being listened, and there are also other places which are being mentioned aside from it. This is a photo of the Melliha Church, if you can see it, and it's from a place called Aro Casa. There's a place opposite Melliha. If you're going down Adira, and on your left there's Melliha Church, on your right you can look up, and there's this place. It's called Aro Casa because it's a home in a cave, sort of. It's abandoned, of course. This one, if I'm not wrong, is from on the west coast of Malta, and it's a sunset. This one in Ain Tuffiha, between Ain Tuffiha and Arraba Bay on the left, the sunset. This one is in Mosta. On the left, you can see the church there, and on the right, there's the bridge. It's Witel. This is from Witel. This one is Artuta. Anyone of you know where this is? Maybe this one is close to Paradise Bay. It's a big cave. There's another window going down very close to this. It's another cave, another window, sort of like we had with our Azur window, but it's on a smaller scale. Yes, the Assiso. Great. This area is called the Assiso as well. It's a big cave. Unfortunately, some people go there and do camps and campfires or tent in there. I don't agree with it, but whatever. It's done. This is another photo. If some of you know me, you know that I'm a bit artistic in my shots, and I try to not just shoot a thing. I try to look, as most of you do, behind, higher, lower, from the side, to get some artistic shots. No, you can see the big the size of this cave. That ugly one in the middle there. This one, guys, is from my last photo. It's from Etna. That's Etna. I thought that Etna was only a grey thing or a dull thing, but as you can see, there's trees growing, shrubs, because from what I learned when I was there, the soil there, not soil, whatever it is, it's very rich in nutrients and whatever trees need to grow, no? This one is from Salmon, I think, yes, that's from Salmon, and at the back, there's St. Paul's Islands there. This one is from the upcoming vlog, so you are lucky you are seeing something from the upcoming vlogs. This is Stromboli. I didn't want to reveal anything, but for you I did it, guys. This is the sunset of Stromboli. This one, this photo, you might say it's something abroad, but it's at Maqluba in Rendi. There's that Maqluba, you go down, there's a Belvedere, but obviously CNG Trek Ventures further and beyond, in the sense that I try to go where other people or are afraid to go, or it's a bit dangerous to go. I try to do it safely as much as possible. But when you go somewhere other people don't go, you get these things, guys, as well. This is the Maqluba as well, from further down. This is part of the Victoria Lines from Bin Jamma. No, this is not Bin Jamma, this is another part, but it's Victoria Lines. This is one of the most beautiful caves in Malta, Tamaria Caves. There are two caves, but one of them. Something interesting about this cave, guys, and very useful to know. It's very useful to be careful about the wind direction before going to these caves, because you have to walk a bit to access the caves, and if the wind is northwest, coming from northwest, you cannot access them. So you have to be careful that the wind is either southwest, southeast, or no wind at all, because otherwise you will not manage to go in there. This is another place in Melliha, the Dar Shitan, it's called. There's a myth about it, because they don't know who built this place. It's in ruins now, as you can see, and it's a bit dangerous to go, but from what I'm told, this is scheduled with MEPA, and they will be restoring it very soon. Another shot from a window in this place. This is, you can see on the left, there's a field, a brown field, and this place is next to it, but this is further back. And on the right, you can see Torre Al-Ahmar. On the far right, this is a shot from Samson Gardens. There's this Gardiol on the left and the Yacht Marina. This one is from Dorballi, from St. Elmo. You can see, here you can see a change between old places and new places, and cranes over there. And on the left side, you can see our heritage, no? With that sailing boat. I was waiting for that sailing boat to come in the picture. This one is in Gozo, Tassulfarina. There's a cave called Tassulfarina. I think it's in Shara or Nadu, but maybe it's in Shara, close to Tasopu Tower. There's this beautiful cave. This one is the cave as well. Most of you maybe haven't gone here, but this is what I am here for, maybe to show you some places you have not been. This is the mighty Salmon Palace. It's abandoned as well, but I was lucky enough and thankful to the authorities who gave me access, because sometimes we moan about not having access to places, and yes, there are places we should have more access to them, but this Salmon Palace, I was lucky enough to apply for a pass, and I was granted. I went with my uncle, who is very fond of this place and who has a book of his own, Salmon and Hawi, and I could explore more inside this place. Our beautiful Camino, the colors there, thanks to the mobile as well. I didn't do any magic, some fine tuning maybe. Camino as well. Camino views. This is a view from Camino Tower, guys. I was lucky enough, thanks to Dinar Helwa. I don't want to get boring thanking people, but without their help, 45 or 50% of these photos wouldn't be possible, guys. So yes, I am thankful for all the sponsors and all the help I get to do these things. This one is from a Shamshiyya Heritage Trail. That's the Salmon Palace there, from abroad. There was this hole in Shamshiyya, and I noticed the Salmon Palace from afar, and I thought would be a good shot from there. This one, Araba as well. The clay slopes. In the center, you can see Jnaina Bay. At the far Jnaina, and these are the clay slopes. These are the same clay slopes. Yes, the same one. This is another part of Victoria Lines. This is a cave. I cannot share the location. This is another thing, guys. Maybe I will mention it further. Some people argue because I don't share the exact location of some caves, but I do it on purpose because the amount of vandalism I find and the ruining of flora and fauna is speechless, guys. When some people manage to go in caves, they tend to either engrave the initials of the loved ones, or I love you there, I love you here, or some spray, and that ruins the thing. No, so I decided I might lose some followers for that, yes, but I decided that some places I don't share their exact location, just for this reason I just told you. This is Tamaria Caves. I just shared you earlier. This is
Blata Al-Melh.
Blata Al-Melh, thanks, dear President. Yes, you can see me down there, Blata Al-Melh. This is Tamaria Cave as well, Tamaria Caves. I'm going through because this is down in Sinkiwi, Shaqqa Cliffs. I do some upsailing as well. I have some photos with me there in the middle. This is in Chirkawa and Comino as well. Maybe some of you don't manage to go there because there's a hidden path to go there, but you can go if you see the vlogs. Comino as well, Tamaria. This is in Golzo. This is in Malta. This is Lapsi. Oh yes, Lapsi on the right. Then you can go down, and there's this view. And this is again Piscina Naturale. This is the cave I told you guys, like the one in Azur window, small one, but on the same basis, sort of. This is for Maria.
Conrad.
Tell me.
Sometimes the pictures are lagging behind because it takes time to upload.
Okay, I take it slower.
So don't give us too many pics one after each other. Just a question, Conrad.
Yes, sir.
So these are all taken with your GoPro?
No, mostly with my mobile.
Or with your mobile?
No, these are mostly with my mobile, then fine-tuned a bit, enhancing the color, sort of, but
is it a smartphone, an iPhone?
An iPhone. It's an iPhone 8 Plus. I have nothing to hide. So whatever it gives. Then I come back and maybe some enhancing even with the mobile. itself. Then I include my logo, but most of them are with the mobile. I use my GoPro for photography. I don't like it that much, my GoPro for photography, because I use it to take wide shots mainly, but I prefer my mobile for them photos. This is Munshar. So I'd like to shift you now, guys, to something more. These were my landscape photography. Okay, I will go to some. Let me check. What's here? Some of the best places I've visited. There are about a dozen and a half. I will share them like this. This is one of the caves I've been visiting. Sometimes you see this is like a portrait sort of, no? Two eyes in the middle, or nose and then the mouth. This place had a lot of bats in it. So I was lucky. I met a score of bats in it, but I couldn't load the photo, of course, because I wouldn't want to attract more people to go there. And I was picked up on by the people in the bat industry, because I was visiting these caves between January and June. And their point was that from January to March, bats are hibernating, and from March to June, they start going out, and if you ruin their hibernation, even with your presence, with the warmth of your body, they tend to think that warmer months have come and get out of hibernation earlier, and ending up not surviving the cold then. This is, I don't know if you can see it, guys, one of my photos, my last photos from the Etna. It was called the Cave of the Three Levels. The three levels in summer. It was very different from the Maltese scenario because of the colors, the texture of the caves. Malta, since caves are made from water mostly, they are very smooth. Even when you walk, the floor is very smooth. But in these places, they are formed from lava, and especially the roofs. When you're walking, there are some, not stalactites, but they are some sort of stalactite, but they are made of lava. They are called ductites. They call them ductites because, as the name suggests, they are like teeth protruding out, and you can easily get hurt with them. This is another photo taken by my guide. To take these photos, guys, we had to do some long exposure. Maybe a word you're very acquainted with it. We are using the mobile. It was taken by a mobile, but he was lighting the surroundings with a torch to lighten up a bit and get more colors. But we had good results. Yeah. You can carry lights, but in these sort of caves, if you take three light sources, they are still not enough, because you want to light here, light there. This one is in Malta. It's a cave. It's a hidden cave, but one of the most mysterious caves in Malta. It's nice. It's filled with water. This one is called. It's in Slima. It's threatened at the moment because they are doing or planning to build close to it. I forgot the name. If it comes to mind, I will tell you. This is another shot. You can see the reflection there. Me on the left, where there is the light source, and the reflection of this water. This one is in Etna again. Now this one is in Dellemara for Dellemara. That one I am putting I'm resting my foot on is a cannon, guys. We only have 2 or 3 from these cannons, and they are there. This fort was as well again given to be used as a farm, a pig farm. And unfortunately, you can see the floor. It's like about 20 centimeters, all cracked, because the pig shit or poo, whatever, went all down with water, rainwater, and it settled there. Now it's dry and it's cracked. It's like you're walking on the desert, no? You can see it there. That's the cannon, and beneath you can see the floor, how it is now. That's a shame, no? You can see the floor again. It's like all islands now. I don't know if it's loading, if you're managing to see them. This one is an interesting place in Sweden. It's called Villa Mystique. Guys, this is an art school. If it was for me, I would turn it in an art school. It's abandoned. I think it's private. I went there, obviously not doing any vandalism, but I had to share this jewel, guys, with you. This is from inside. You can see mosaic on the ceilings there. This one was built from leftovers from the war, from World War II mainly. And this artist, it was Marquis something, it belongs to a Marquis now, he passed away. And he used to collect leftovers from war, different war scenes in Malta. For example, columns or windows. And this is a collage of all these things. I would turn it in a museum, no? This is a view from the window. He had access, guys. This Marquis had some connections with either Indina glass or whatever, something. And he used to get these glasses and make part of, this is sort of a window. And the light coming through. Wow, this is in Annnnd. I would say none of you have visited this place. I was lucky enough to get notified about, those are stalactites, guys, calcite stalactites. If we touch them with the finger, with the oil we have in our fingers, they will stop growing. So a stalactite small like that took about 70 years to generate. And if you touch it with the fingertip, with the oil, as I told you, you would stop it from, and you would ruin it. Now, imagine the stalactites we see abroad and the stalagmites, just a small thing maybe to learn from each other. Stalactite with a C and a T are growing from the ceiling down. Stalagmites, GM, are mainly from the droplets the stalactites produce. The stalagmites are growing. So they are growing from the floor, the stalagmites. Something I've learned, even I did a mistake, but now I learned it and I'm trying to share it with you. So this is Annnnd, okay? That's all from this folder. Guys, if any of you, I don't want you sleeping there or something. I don't want to get this boring or sharing. If any one of you have questions, and maybe Steve and Vince can pass you through, I would greatly would be able to answer. No? So if anyone is still awake and would like to ask some questions, kindly do so. I give you 2 minutes or 1 minute so that we can share information maybe.
Tony wishes to ask you a question. I'm going to unmute Tony.
Yes, good.
Conrad, first of all, proset. I mean, your ventures are amazing, especially the inner cave photos. Just curious whether with your iPhone whether you should RAW or JPEG.
No, I should JPEG, huh? JPEG, I don't.
Because the quality is very good, yeah.
Thanks to technology. I have an iPhone 8 Plus. I am sure iPhone 12 they would be much higher, but for what I do,
they're enough. Thank you, Conrad.
If anyone else has some questions. If no, guys, we can proceed.
What Melvin Buhagiar wants to ask you a question, and I think I can. Let me open his mic. I think
Yes.
it's something related to Annnnd, I suppose, because he's from Annnnd. But
Good.
so he'll give you information about that. I'm going to try to unmute Melvin's mic. Okay, Melvin.
Okay, you were right, Vince. Very nice photos and interesting places, especially the ones from Randy. May I ask you something? There are certain places you're showing us you have visited. Is that possible to take an SLR with you?
Yes, mostly, but you have to be careful. Until you arrive there, the problem would be if you have to trek or if you have to go through. Yes, I will show you some places you have to really squeeze yourself. So I don't suggest that taking along a 2K SLR, 2,000 euros SLR or more would be. That's why I love this mobile. It has some cracks. If I show you my mobile, it has cracks here and there because some places you have to go really deep. Some places you have to take off your helmet because you cannot go through. So you take off your helmet, you pass through, then you put on your helmet back. Sometimes you hear your mobile, and pray God that when you look at it, it's still intact. So I don't suggest taking the DSLR with you in certain places, but some other places, like going trekking along the shore, yes, so you can. Why not?
Okay, thanks.
You have to be careful also if the place is dusty. For example, when I went on Annnnd, even your tongue and between your teeth, you can feel. So I know that even some photo shoots on beaches might be problematic to lenses because I've been doing some shoots myself. So I know that when you go home, trying to zoom and it's not that something pleasant, no, but it's all down to how much you can risk your apparatus. But I would go with a mobile mostly. But if you want to go with a DSLR, you can get better shots, maybe depth of field, maybe wider. I don't know, maybe macro.
More resolution, actually. That's the only problem I see. More quality. But anyway, what you're saying, it's most important that you keep your equipment intact, if possible.
I try to document places, guys. Where I go, I try to document them as best as I can. But compromising between quality and bringing home the feel, the smell, the views. If I had to compromise, I would go for a mobile still, rather than taking my DSLR and getting higher resolution photos. And my GoPro, of course, because with the GoPro, I show you guys a bit what I go through, what I go with. This is the GoPro, a small thing. You can go with this only, but then you start improving and you start getting crap volume and crap sound. Then you improve, you buy a case, you buy this gadget here, which takes the dead cat with it, with a mobile, with the microphone, as you can see. You put this. This one helps you more when it's windy, so that you don't get that sound. You attach this one, you get the GoPro in. You attach this volume thing with it. You close it. Then you start getting better. You don't have enough lighting. Then you invest in a flash. This is a small light source, guys. You can light it. You can even use it for photography as well. And it goes up. As you can see, you light your face. Mostly when you're in dark places, because I had vlogs, it was like Finding Nemo. It was only you see, you don't see myself. You see only a light source going like that fish from that shed. And my friends were picking on me at work. What a crap footage that was. And then you have to invest another 100 euros in a small flashlight, more chargers, battery chargers. One experience I had, guys, I would like to share. I had a power bank with me, and it was an experience like a geyser sort of. There was a hole in the. Maybe I will show you in the next clips here. There's water coming from beneath, and there's this hole in in the rocks, and it comes out abruptly, and I was wet all over. So, thanks God, my mobile survived this as well, but my power bank got FU. So not to say anything new. So guys, I will show you some other adventures. Some of them include some heights, some of them include some depths, some of them include some claustrophobic approach. And this is sometimes losing me some viewers, guys. Loading claustrophobic places. Sometimes people start watching these vlogs, and then when they see something claustrophobic, they stop. Unfortunately, but I love these things and I keep on doing them. So this one is in Malta, Araba. This one is in Etna, as I told you. I try to go slowly, okay? This one is in Malta as well, near Paradise Bay, Etna. Something I was forgetting, guys. I was also doing lately. There's a group, We're Next, and they are embarking this project. Staying home like you're staying home, but you're going abroad. Getting experts in every country. For example, for Malta, it was me. And I go, like I'm doing on YouTube, I go in a place and take them virtually with me. It's a 30-minute thing. And you share beautiful places live with on this platform, and you get paid by people watching. They give a donation and sharing, like for example, there are from Bali, there are from Sicily, and for Malta, it was me taking care of these things. But that's a side note. This is tell me.
Emmanuel is asking you, are you planning to catalog your findings?
I'm not planning. Catalog in what sense, Emma?
Let me ask him to do
Yes.
this question and explain better. Emmanuel?
Hi, Conrad. Yes, I was asking, are you planning to catalog, like publish a book or something of your findings and your whereabouts, where most of these caves
Listen, I would lie if I told you I never thought about this thing, but guys, you don't imagine how much time consuming these things are. For example, editing a video or a vlog, which the final product is 10 minutes or 12 minutes or 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes me 15 hours, 18 hours. Some people might laugh, but maybe due to the fact that I am not a videographer or an editor, I'm an amateur on these things, but they take me so much time, and I am a full-timer, a technician. I do some photography as well, and I have to plan my future vlogs. I have to edit my past vlogs. I have to promote, and I think I'm afraid I don't have time for all this thing to be, like you said, archived or published. It would be nice if someone interests himself in doing these things and collaborate on these things. But to be honestly, I don't have time to do these things. Maybe when I get older, sometimes I would go back to these footages and these photos, and I would be able to do them. But if someone has time or is interested in doing this thing, I would be very gladly collaborating. So I'm open for collaborations, guys, anytime. I don't know if I answered your question. I'm not hearing any feedback from anywhere. Hello?
answered. Yes, you answered my questions.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Where were we? Yeah. This one we showed you already. This one, okay, showed you. This is, I think, it's a short video. I don't know if it's. I don't know if we can delay.
If you're going to share sound with the video, take the box, Conrad, down, the one at the lower side, at the left-hand side.
I don't know if it's.
Left.
Places to play in.
Okay.
And pray where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul. The mountains are calling, and I must go.
That was a short one, guys. It was shot with a mobile as well. So, but I thought about sharing it with you. It looked like a promo of something, but I really liked it. I don't know if you liked it or not, but I had to share it with you. This is another shot. As I was telling you, I go abseiling as well. I had to do some training because some of the places, in order to visit them, you have to abseil or climb. So it was demanding for me to learn these things. And thanks God, I could reach higher things or lower things. This one is in Comino. This is very special to me, guys. I don't know if any of you have saw the vlogs or have subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. I've been scouting, sort of. I go through Facebook, as most of you do, and through other social media. And I saw this man. His name is Conrad, like me, but with a K. He's a barber. And he was going around with this young boy. He's still 3 years old. And what struck me was that he's exposing this young boy to this Malta, to this underground Malta, instead of having this boy on gadgets all the time, like most of our kids do. He was exposing this. He was a scout himself, this father, and he told me, I want to expose my child safely, always, to anything with respect to nature. And this 3-year-old guy, his name is Jack, and the amount of knowledge he knows, guys, about conductors, about things going on around, it's amazing. Yeah? And I thought, why I don't get the experience, an experience with this guy. I asked his father, and they were very helpful. And this guy, I loved him a lot. Huh? We did, and we discovered here. We went to explore the Maltese old railway. I don't know how many of you, or if any of you remember the railway. It started from Intarfa. It went all the way to from Intarfa, Medina, Attart, Birkirkara, where there's the station, Hamrum, Floriana, and ended up in Valletta near the Aero Garage. We are doing more explorations about this thing, and more vlogs will be coming up soon. So that's another anticipation of what we're working on. We are trying to educate, I will be telling you later, educate the Maltese of what we have lost till now and what we can still survive, maybe, from what we have till now.
Conrad, we have a question from Diego. I am you, Diego.
Meta tmur żol postijiet,
Yes?
all right? Naħseb naqasik ikollok ġifieri basket, attrezzat tajjeb bil-lenti u b'DSLR, naħseb bil-fors jew b'xi mobile jew b'xi GoPro titmur, għax rajtek f'kien minnhom għaddejt minn toqba żgħira li jien personali ma ngħaddix kieku.
Diego, sewwettejt. Weight might be a problem in these things. I don't want to be offensive or something, but yes. Even though, for example, when I plan to go in a cave, from what I see on YouTube, you see some photos, 2, 3, 5, a couple, a short footage. What intrigues me more is when I don't find anything about this place, because one, I would be one of the first to share these things too. Two, it shows that it's a bit difficult to access. So that gets me more into these things. Yes, it might be dangerous. And the thing that I go somewhere and I don't know exactly what I'm finding, it gets me more edgy. But this thing has the other side of the coin. No, if you plan, for example, that it's half an hour long, and in reality it takes you 2 hours long, you have to have water enough with you. You have to have light sources enough with you. You have to advise people before going in. Mostly what I do is I advise my brothers. I don't tell my mother most of the times where I am, so because not to make her angry or whatever, anxious, but I do advise my brothers, thanks God, and I tell them the exact location where I am, the time I plan to be in there, although once it happened that I had to stay there for 1 hour and 3 hours passed, and then when I came out, total rebus, people phoning, they were coming there, whatever, but it's part of this thing, guys. I don't like being too long, but sometimes you don't know exactly what's in there and you have to take longer. And to come to your question again, Diego, in these places, I don't suggest you go with a DSLR, no, and with lenses, hitting them there, hitting them. No, the GoPro is a perfect match, so.
Oħra, eżempju, this cave. Naħseb dan huwa wiċċ storiku ta' Malta.
Which one? Diego?
The cave with Conrad, the barber, that I know him.
No, it's not that. It's part of a heritage. It was used. It's part of the history was, as we normally do. We use these places for shitty things or anything. This one was used to grow mushrooms. As the one is in Tarfa, there's another one in Tarfa as well. But thanks God, they didn't leave it in a bad state. This one, they cleaned up most of the things. And there's a tunnel, guys, a 700-meter tunnel, which goes from near the Tarfa station, the station, we know the station, goes all under Annndd. So there's this big tunnel under Annndd. I didn't know about it since a few weeks ago, since I was doing these things. And going out opposite where there was Tettingers, maybe there's a place you exit out there. So you go all the way under Annndd and you exit out of Rabat.
Thanks for process, huh?
You're very welcome.
Conrad.
Tell me.
Mela, try to enlarge the screen. Put the image full screen.
I cannot talk because I'm trying to enlarge from here. But which one would you want to?
I'm not Mac user, so the Mac user can kindly. Peter, maybe, I don't know. Peter, you know how? You know from where?
No, because I'm trying to remain in contact with you guys. I don't know.
No, you need to lift your window.
I'm trying. Oh, this is the biggest.
No. Put the cursor on where you have Finder and lift it further up. That way we don't lose the bottom part of your photos. And your tool. No, okay, it's much better that way.
It's much better.
I can see the whole photograph now.
Okay, better like that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And we have another question from Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you can go ahead.
Bring it on.
Yes, have you ever come across something strange, unusual, mysterious in these caves?
Can you repeat? Sorry, Emmanuel. Can you repeat again?
Have you ever came across something strange, unusual, or mysterious during your visits to these caves?
No, not that I remember. I came across a small mouse, which I was surprised by. You see a lot of skeletons, yes, animal skeletons. But I didn't meet anything worth an oath or something that I remind myself of. But if I do, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. But this is a good question because most of the people tell me, what if you meet a big rat or you're faced with an animal? One small experience, guys. Wait, I was going through a private property. I know it's my fault, but sometimes to access these things you have to risk, and yes, risk your life. And I was going in, I was walking, and I saw no dogs, nothing at all. Then I heard a small dog bark from afar, and I said, okay, it's far, it's not near. And then this barking was starting to come to become louder and louder and become more closer. And then I saw a dog. Oh my God! Then, if I don't have a walking stick, guys, I use this as a self-defense as well. This one, if you can see it, it goes bigger, and it goes like a meter or so. So sometimes I use this as a stick or as a self-defense. And this dog started getting closer and closer and closer. And it was a tall fennec one. I don't know, the thin one. But then he called his friends. And another two dogs came along. And these one were more robust and bigger. And their trouble, I was in real danger, guys, because they were maneuvering, this barking. They did not bite me. I was trying to look cool in front of them, but I started walking backwards. I had to get out of there and find another route. And as soon as I went out of the gate, these ones were very educated. As soon as I left the gate, they stopped barking, they stopped attacking. So yes, that was an experience I was through. Unfortunately, but to get you home these things, guys, yes, I have to go to some things.
Conrad,
Tell me.
check your power supply, the battery.
Of my what?
What you're using, laptop, iMac, what you're...
No, it's on all the time. Oh,
It's on? Okay.
Maybe some other device or my mobile, maybe.
Because someone told me that soon you will run out of power. So...
No, but it's plugged. Okay, it's plugged.
Okay.
That's on my mobile,
Okay.
I think. These
Okay.
iPhone and iCloud and share everything. Maybe if I go to the toilet, it will tell us. This, guys, is a photo. It is not out yet, but I was really happy with this photo. This is Conrad and his young boy here, 3-year-old. I was really stuck by this photo. There's something in it. I really like it. No, I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. This is doing another adventure, going down. This one was without harness. I don't suggest anyone doing these things, but there you can see some safety gear. Knee caps, guys, gloves, helmets, glasses. This thing is all down to safety as well, no? This is another shot. This is from Elmon R, and those from you in Zurri, living in Zurri, and Blue Grotto down there. This is another adventure called, my goodness, I don't know. Those, you are attached to an iron rope going down. That's with in Mosta as well, with a laser. That's another adventure. You are attached to those things, and you go all the rocks attached to those things. As you can see, harness, helmets. That's a must, guys. As you can see, face mask there. We're already going through this pandemic. This one from Etna. It's like Crocodile Dundee, but that head, guys. I have to share a secret with you. Not a secret. At the beginning, I didn't like that head a lot, but nowadays it's part of me, sort of. They call me Indiana CNG sometimes, but I like it. And one good thing is, sometimes I'm trekking, and you see people trekking from afar, and I said, why did they stop? And I go past, and then they say, it's you, Conrad, we recognize you from far, thanks for the vlogs. It's something ridiculous, but yes, I like these things, guys. I like when people recognize you, I like when people share things with you. I like when you're trekking alone, maybe, and you stop by having a chat with these people. I love these things. No? These are all on Etna, guys. Even this one, these are coming out then tomorrow. I will be giving you a preview, a teaser very soon. That one is on Stromboli. It's going out in the coming weeks. Normally, I don't share things coming up, guys, but special treat here. This one was going down Maqluba, down Maqluba. I start going down on voice now. That one is at Mijral Ferha, an experience. It's a free fall, a 20-meter free fall sort of, but then you're stuck with the tension. What's this? This one is doing the adventure in Sicily. This one is in Malta, Tasulfarina. To take shots like these, guys, mostly I'm alone. So this is interesting to know as well. When you're alone and you imagine some shot, no, you cannot tell your friend, listen, take me this shot, or I will be doing this, and you just hold the camera. You cannot do that. So you have to rest your GoPro or mobile. You have to compose your photo or footage. Put the mobile there, do it with a timer now, and then you pose for a photo. Or the first time you don't manage to go there on time, you do 10 seconds delay or something, then you change. But it's a big headache. A photo like this maybe takes you 15 hours to take. 15 minutes, not 15 hours. But when I imagine a photo, I would want to take it no matter how long I take. But to take good photos, guys, when you're alone, it's a big nightmare, no? Especially, for example, if you take a shot going up a hill, 15 meters, 20 meters, you compose your shot, no? You give it start, or you give it record or something. Then you start going up. Or else you imagine you gave the record button on. You go up, then you have to go to retrieve your camera, no? And you notice that you didn't press record, so you have to go up again and down again. So a shot normally taking someone to takes 5-10 seconds would cost you a minute and a half or 2 minutes taking the shot going up, going down, or even 10 minutes sometimes. So just to give you a glimpse of how difficult and how challenging these things are, guys. It's not like a point and shoot. Sometimes it takes you hours to take. That's another folder I wanted to share with you. Now, it's getting to be a big headache, guys. I'm not used to talking all the time. I will show you some caving experiences, just going through them. Wait. Yeah. This one in Etna as well. This one out. You can see the clothes, guys. How dirty you get. Those are the shoes. Sometimes it's a family thing after trying to clean my boots. This is a cave in with Irda, guys. It's a cave between Sijiri, Ormi, and Zabbuch. There's this cave. Arhanzir is called. It's a nice cave. I have visited, and I suggest these one are stalactites, but this is in Gozo, Sherry's Sherry. There's a cave, 7 meters underground. I think it's 7 meters, and they preserved it and made it accessible. I would suggest it's a good photography point maybe for you, Stephen. Maybe you can organize when you're in Gozo. Maybe you can. On the 17th, I saw there's this tour, no? I would be even, I don't know if I will be free, but we can arrange something and I will take you to some of these places. Guys, I don't know if you're interested in such a thing, thinking about it now. I can take you places like these, which might be interesting for photography, no? Maybe we can work it out after. This is another cave. This is Armirdum. It's in Dingley, and I was guided in this cave as well. You can see, guys, now apart from Maya's there, you can see how restricted places like these. If you're a bit chubby or if you're on weight, you cannot go in these places, guys. So it's best to be to look after your health and be as sleek as possible, no?
Oh, they're not good for me, you're saying? No good.
Oh, indirectly, yes.
I won't pass from that hole.
You can see, guys, look. They are very, very difficult. You see? Those, let me get you to something else, something more interesting maybe. Education. Mela, during these vlogs, I try to speak slowly because I'm getting a headache. During these vlogs, I try to educate people, guys. I don't just share beautiful places. I try to educate people about flora and fauna, about, I will go through while I'm talking, try not to get you boring. Wait. About flora and fauna, about environment, about geography, and thanks to my brother Johan, Stephen knows him. My brother is into Nature Trust, and they do a lot of good work in this area. And I try to share some knowledge about these things as well myself. I have this corner, I call it the Johan Malti Corner, where I share some contacts where people can contact if they see some trash about. Like I told you, flora, fauna. That's my brother over there. He gives me more information, which I share. For example, I tell him, no, Johan, listen, give me 15 seconds or 20 seconds on the Maltese national bird, sort of Merrill or something else. He gives me 1.5 minutes. We're always quarreling on keeping it low, but thanks to him and thanks to our Gozitin Mercia, Mrs. Mercia from Goldzo, about geology, they give me information which I can share with you guys. This one, the turtle release, for example, we did a vlog on the turtle release because we try to vary our vlogs so that followers don't get bored always trekking or always caving or always this and that. This was a turtle release experience. We shared a fossil, we found fossils. This is a shark tooth. We always insist that whatever we find running around in our environment, we don't take it for ourselves, guys. Yes, you might be tempted to take it home, to keep it for yourself, to say, yes, I have a shark tooth. But then, if you take this thing home, people coming after you will not admire it as you did. No, they will go trekking and they will not find it there. So it's not suggested that you take it with you. We try to educate people. For example, this 60 degrees, we did a camp tent pitching up, and we were educating people that the pegs do not have to be vertical or horizontal, they have to be at an angle of 60 degrees. So we try to do it. I try to mention, and from here, I would like to say a good hello to our followers from Australia, from Canada. You know, we have a lot of Maltese expats who have been there. We try to, that's why I try to keep this in English. Sorry, my English is not good. I used to do them Maltese, but then I used to have feedback. Listen, we love your Maltese, we like your Maltese, but what are you saying exactly? So I had to shift from Maltese to English. This is one of my brother's inputs, and Ramona as well. So that's about education. I am carrying along this thing, guys, this initiative. I am carrying along. Wait, I will show you. Wherever I go doing explorations, I am taking along a garbage bag because at the beginning, as I told you, that Johan Malti thing, I used to have feedback. Listen, okay, you are highlighting this horrible thing, but what are you doing? What are you doing in giving something back to nature? And I was suggested that I start picking up some things myself and throwing them where they should be. No, it's useless preaching things sometimes. So I tried to do something. I was asking my brother what tagline I should use, and we came out with this one, #. So something small, but we have a target, and sometimes and someday we will be there. I came out with this logo, this Bring In Sight logo as well, and I am taking along, and I invite you all to, when you're going out shooting, you take a small bag with you, and you pick up something, and maybe hashtagging Clita Naslo as well, putting it up on social media so that we get this thing going. This is, I don't only pick up 3 small things, guys. Sometimes it's 3 bags, sometimes it's 3 people of us picking up 2 bags each. But I try to promote this thing. As you can see, people, I did a tree planting exercise as well, because we're promoting nature. And we do, this is, I was conducting, thanks to people, I was conducting, how do you say it? When you go around and pick up things, I don't know, I cannot, whatever. We picked up, then in 2 hours, we managed to pick up 11 garbage bags. And we are promoting this thing as well, girl. When we go camping, we moan a lot that we don't have a place where to put them, and we argue about local councils or not enough bring-in sites or anything. We are promoting this thing that, as we take a lot of things with us when we're going camping, we take this, we take a camp, we take a sofa. It would cost us nothing that we take our own trash back home with us. It will only be another bag, but it will cost less money for local councils to collect our own trash, no? And we will take it out with our own trash when we arrive home. And we will help the environment like that. So when whoever is going camping or trekking, please take your trash bag home with you and dispose it off with your own trash. This one was an activity in Comino. We collected 2 bags there. And this one is very symbolic, more than anything. It's like a cross. We're carrying, it has to be me and other people who are carrying other people's trash, no? It's like carrying the cross of others. I'm doing it gladly, but people should not rely on this thing that there are other people doing it. No, we should do it ourselves. I don't know if any of you have any suggestions, guys, or if it is getting boring or anything. I don't know. I'm trying to share as much as information with you. But if you have questions, if there are people still alive here, I don't know how many people are alive.
Well, everyone is still alive and wide open, so don't worry, we're following you.
Because mostly when I hear something talking, I start to nod, even myself. That's why I don't blame you.
Yeah, but the thing is that we unmute yourselves to avoid from having background sound.
If anyone has questions, I have only 10 minutes, 15 minutes left with information. So if anyone can feed in, I'd like to welcome from now conversation. So don't hesitate. At least I will stop a bit because I start getting a headache, guys.
Is there someone who needs to ask questions to Conrad because he's waiting for your call?
Even my face, look how red it is. My God, with pressure.
Tony, go ahead.
Conrad, I am enthralled and amazed with how courageous you are. What first, I'm going to say this in Maltese, ġibdek lej dan it-tip ta' trekking u għerin perikolużi u hekk? These dangerous caves and dangerous holes, what got you into that?
As I told you in the beginning, I started from training, first of all. And in order to train for my adventure, which I had abroad, I had to go long hours trekking along the shores and taking photos because we are sick, not sick, I cannot do without going out and seeing a beautiful scene or something and not taking photos, and I'm sure most of you are like that, no?
You need it.
Yes, you have to do it. And when I started doing these vlogs, yes, it's nice going to places people know about, but it's even nicer and even more intricate, and I was finding it more challenging going to places other people didn't know about. Even, yes, I have to admit, to be the first to go some places as well. It's nice to be one of the first, to go in that place, and that place, and that place, and exploring it with the means you have now, because I will share with you something I'm working on and would like to have more. And then going back home, doing it in a video and sharing it with people. No, it amazes me. People saying, "Wow, do I have that place in Malta? Wow, where is that place in Malta? Can I join?" And when we go to that place, some places I know they are claustrophobic. Some places I know they are not safe for people. Some places I know and I know they are safe, and I take people. I don't mind. And so. Yes, it all boils down to being amongst the first to visit these places. Yes.
I noticed you are very courageous. I'm not like you in any way, but
it takes a level of courage. Yes.
And you have to take care of yourself. Yeah.
Sometimes, yes, I do. I don't.
Tonight I just liked your page, and I intend to follow your vlogs to see your vlogs. Thank you.
Conrad, what I can add is that what came out even when we were discussing with you, Stephen, and myself in our pre-webinar meeting, as you said, some are really dangerous places and risky sites where you go, and the thing that maybe I wasn't a bit impressed, that they are that dangerous that you told us that before going into some cave, you inform your brothers and you tell them, listen, I'm going in this cave, I should be out in an hour. If I don't, this is my location. So they are that dangerous. I mean, this is what I wanted to come out with my point here. You know, some sites are really risky because it's kind of that you're not sure that you're coming out back.
Yes, Vince. When you stop and think about it, you say, I should stop doing this now. Yes. Because I have a family, I have a daughter, I have my parents. But I don't know. I still go. Yes, they are risky. They are risky to the extent that, yes, I give the location to my brothers just in case. I don't want to be the culprit of other people coming in for risking me or trying to risk me. So respect to the civil protection here, respect to all authorities. But I try to be safe as much as possible. Most of the times I don't go alone. But sometimes, yes, I do the mistake of going alone. I don't know.
You did, Conrad. We've got a good suggestion from or a point from Diego, and he's saying, and this is very interesting. I mean, you were one of the contestants in a television show. It was an adventure show on the local TV, and he's saying, how did that experience in Licorice? It was the program. How did that experience help you to explore even these situations or put yourself in such a situation? And another question, which I can say asked by Karm, he's saying, if you ever thought of sleeping out in a spot where you are, maybe doing a tent and sleeping on the spot, on the site that you visit.
Let me start from the first one. Yes. Apart from the television program, I was even adventurous before, and let me tell you why. For example, and this is with regards to photography as well. I've been in India before going in Indonesia with the television program. I've been in India alone for 2 weeks, and I went there appropriately for photography. I wanted to go to these remote places, take some portraiture, I know that most of you have, and Louis is very, very well experienced in these things. These shots, which when you turn them into black and white, tell a whole story. Even if you look at their eyes, their expression. And I wanted to go to India appropriately to get 1 or 2 shots. You tell me you paid those money, yes. Most of you, I know that you understand this thing. You can get 1,000 photos, but if you get 1 and you say this is the shot, you can catch the plane and come back Malta, and you don't even give a shit, sorry, about everything you have planned more. But these things going on India, for example, it's not like going to London. You just turn on your internet, and if you did not make it, you get the underground and you go back. No, when you go in India, the first thing even the smell there, when you land in India, it's a cultural shock, no? But that is what I went there for. So being there alone. And on a side note as well, I had a big accident with the motorcycle, which thanks God I survived. But being there in India, it was another challenge. Being there in India alone with your own camera and having no one to speak to. And I was doing that as well, live sort of. I was doing that, taking photos every day, and then at the end of the day, giving a description of what I did, the amount of money I spent. So to give an idea, and that made me, and that triggered in me, the adventure in it, now going into places, exploring places. I don't go, for example, yes, I would go on the Etna, do excursion, walking over Etna, like most people do, but I wanted to do something people don't do, no? It triggers in me some adrenaline, I don't know what is it, or some chemistry or some chemical in us, which makes me go further, go beyond, and melting with it, photography, videography now, being safe, trying to share with people. I don't know, it's this thing. Then going into these places in Malta made me experience more and learn more about Malta, because going into places made me research things before going and share with people, learn from our elderly people, which information, unfortunately, if they pass over or pass by, will be lost because it's not documented. And sharing them with the youngsters, with those young people or our kids who, instead of having anything to do during the pandemic, used to get on gadgets. So while going on gadgets, maybe there's a pop-up of one vlog of mine, of something it might gets their attention, and through it, they might learn something of our heritage, of our flora and fauna. That's what triggered me more. And your second question, Vince, again, please.
Sorry?
Your second question.
About if you sleep on the site that you visit, maybe through camping, I assume, or
yes, some of the vlogs they included going, for example, camping or trekking, and they include more than one day. So you have to think about taking gear with you, taking enough food with you, staying out in harsh weather, 4-6 winds, 4-7 winds. It's all down to having good gear. Thanks God, I work a lot with Adventure Shop. I don't mind doing advertisement. Their gear is exceptionally good. They kit me up with their gear. I've been working with them. They've been believing me for 2 years now. You have to get, okay, you can have a tent to take you to, but then you have to go in details for these things. How light the tent is, the wind force it can withstand, the rain, the amount of water it can withstand, the area. These are small things, guys. That's what make a thing cost €5 and a thing costs €10. These little things, but you appreciate these things when you need them. For example, if you're trekking and the wind forecast is force 3, force 4, okay, you can do it with a ABC tent. But when it gets harder, 5, 6, 4, 6, these minor details, guys, get into account, and there's your safety in it. No, if you're out alone in a force 5, 6 wind and you need a good tent, you cannot go round the corner and buy a tent. No, you have to go on these things. And the same with footwear, the same with trekking wear, the same with socks. These minor things, guys. How waterproof, how dry your feet get faster, because when you're taking long treks, for example, your feet tend to get to sweat, no? And these minor details, how waterproof your shoes is, how breathable. Thanks God, I've been noticed as well by an Italian brand, Azolo. They are into shoes, trekking shoes, and I'm the local ambassador of this brand. So thanks God, yes, I am being noticed by foreign platforms as well, apart from Maltese ones. We've been mentioned in the parliament as well. And these minor details, guys, back to Vince, you have to think about them in advance, okay? You have to check the weather forecast, but sometimes you cannot carry along, for example, 5-liter water or 10-liter water tank. You have to stop at different places. You have to plan your tour so that you carry, for example, 2 liters and then you replenish along the way, no? I don't know if it's...
Very good, Conrad, very interesting. Conrad, I'm not sure if, because we're slightly overrunning, it doesn't matter. We can stay up till 8 if
No, another 5 minutes and I will stop, okay?
yes, and maybe you can start concluding your
Yes,
presentation
okay.
so that we can start concluding.
Yes, another small thing. As we were saying, are the sponsors, I would like to thank them by at least showing them online. This is the shoes I was telling you, Asolo, guys. CNG photography, of course, myself, Asolo and Adventure Shop. Some photos with Black Diamond gloves. Myself, CNG Trek Ventures, Mountain Hardware. This is the camp I was telling you guys. And Van Gogh at the back. Mountain North Face, again, Mountain and these are the stalactites I was telling you. It's important to be accessed with the gear, guys. Now you see the helmet, torches, and as well everything. A small note. Let me see. These are the gear. Another small note is what we are our future, guys. Thanks for listening to my past and my present. And I would like to give you some sneak peek to thank you, of course. Wait, I go a bit back. Of our future projects. Only 2 small things. Just to share with you, and I don't know if anyone of you can help in this thing. I am, wait, this one. I am going further and investing in some drone shots. I want to invest in a drone. I don't have a lot of money, so I try to don't get overboard, but at least start giving drone shots. The drone shots I had in my vlogs till now, I asked collaborations for them, Arthur and Vince and one Chris, and they gladly shared them with me, and so that I can share. But I want to get my own drone shots. So if any one of you can either sponsor a drone for me or get me in contact with someone who can sponsor a drone for me, I will be giving credits at the end of the vlogs as usual, and I am kindly open for help. Another thing, I am in the next vlogs, as I already told you, we'll be going into Sicily and other parts of Sicily, and in the future, I am working on going somewhere along this red line, but I cannot reveal where. But it will be somewhere, Asia, Europe, so stay tuned to what we will be offering in the coming weeks. I would like to share this.
So guys, let's stand it up to take us. Here we are in the zone of Pahoe Lavas. What the? Where's Hawaiian? Hawaiian? Okay. Georgis entered, she was we try. Of course, I have to. So surprise. Yes, you made 83. Welcome to Sicily, guys. This way. Look, as I say, they bigger. We were preserved. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
That was a small teaser of what's coming up next. One thing I would like to ask you guys to subscribe I would like to kind of ask, because these things, let me tell you, explain why, guys, because people say, oh, subscribe there, subscribe there. When I'm searching for sponsorship, I'm being very honest here with you guys. I don't have any hidden agenda. I know that I might be revealing things that other people might be copying or doing the same way, but I'm trying to be honest, because honesty is key here. When you search for sponsorships, of course, when you're advertising something, the person who's sponsoring you might tell you, listen, what will I get back in return? No, it's second nature, this thing. And what they look at is the following: how much viewers you have, how much his vlog is followed, how much comments are written, because the feedback is very important for them. And they base their sponsorships on these things. So the more subscribers we have, the more flow we have on our channel, the best, and it helps me a lot. It doesn't cost anything to you guys. It's free to do so. So the only thing you have to do, go on YouTube, write Conrad Neil Gatt, you enter on the channel. I had a photo here, but I don't know where it is. Whatever. Whatever. I will not bore you with these things. You go on Conrad Neil Gatt. There's a red box, subscribe, and it's not enough, guys. You subscribe, and on the right of that subscribe, there's a bell, and there's a drop down, 3 options. You click all. That all would entitle you to a notification automatically whenever I load a new vlog. So that's all. I hope it was not boring, guys. I hope we will learn something. And I invite you all to subscribe again. And whenever you have some ideas, feedback, even comment or productive, constructive feedback, guys. I don't give a damn if you criticize something, as long as we learn something. Let's do this and let's explore Malta and beyond borders now. Thank you all. Keep it up with our photography. I still follow. Well done to Lewis for the previous get going of the photographic service. Well done to Steve. Thanks to Vince, to all the photographers. I wish I had more time to spend with you guys, but I'm doing this, and I hope you all can join.
Thank you, Conrad. I'm going to leave the first comments to your good friend Stephen to tell you something about this. I know you're very good friends, and apart from photographers as well. So Stephen, I'm going to leave some words for you.
It's amazing, breathtaking. What I'm going to say, because even if you read the comments, Neil, Conrad, and on the side, you will appreciate that tonight you will have more subscriptions, and they invite you to keep it going. So well done. We have ended this sessions of webinar. Vince, you can confirm that although it was something different, it adds to the photographic value that we are giving to our members. Keep it up, Conrad. We, as I always say, the Malta Photographic Society supports local talent, and we will support you in your ventures. So keep it up. Vince, you can do the conclusions. I look forward to seeing you all. Hopefully you will come to Gozo and spend some time. We will spend some time together. Those who can't make it, keep following the MPS Facebook page and look out for the emails we are going to send you, because we are planning also new material and new ventures to keep you on the go. Viz.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I really want to close off by thanking you personally, and obviously all those who supported us within this project. It was an incredible experience, which I'm sure myself and yourself really enjoyed. It was fantastic to work closely together. And if there is one thing I would end with, as a proud member of the Malta Photographic Society, I will be doing my part to support the society, to support the president, you, Stephen, to support the EXCO. So I really urge all members to proudly wave the society's flag and give their support when being asked to. We need to preserve 60 years of history, 60 years of promoting photography, 60 years of having a society as an educational institution that discovered various photographic talents and gave so much to many, including myself. I wish you all a blessed summer and hope to see you in the next social event in Gozo. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.